Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joan Walsh. I'm the Director of Partnership Europe. I'm going to start with a brief overview of my company. I have two companies. The first one is Partnership Europe and the second one is Happy Tours Ireland. So I just want to, I suppose, explain a little about what we do. We were set up to represent universities, European universities, regional councils, chambers of commerce, vocational schools and schools in general with regard to organising work placements, language courses, study visits, summer camps, trade delegations or research visits and au pair programmes. We also offer a consultancy service to write European projects for funding for universities or schools in order to, I suppose, create these projects. Our mission is simple, really, to encourage the cooperation and mobility of people and businesses within the European Union and the wider world, deliver what we promise, a highly professional service that meets the needs of our clients. We've won a few awards over the years, thankfully. We're very lucky, I suppose, because for the simple fact we've retained 99% of our original clients from day one, and that's really helped us grow massively. It started off with me on my own up in Attic, and now we have an additional 5 full-time staff and 2 part-time staff, and we've moved to a larger office in South Mall. So that's testament, I suppose, to the quality of work that we have been doing over the past few years. One of our busiest programmes at the moment would be the European funded work placements. I don't know if you're aware of Erasmus. We would manage Erasmus programmes for our partner universities around the world. I was an Erasmus student many years ago myself, so that's where I got the idea to create Partnership Europe. I had to do everything myself. It was quite daunting. I had no French. It was terrible. It was quite difficult. So thus I suppose, Partnership Europe was born, and this was one of the first programs we created. So it's our job to, I suppose, either help get the funding for the university through writing the project, and then bring in all these European people into Ireland and the UK with regard to doing a graduate work placement. They can work in any company, any type of company, be it private, governmental, even a university. They can generally come over for 2 weeks to 6 months. The average work placement would be 3 months within an Irish company. We provide work placements for our participants in all sectors, be it marketing, sales, administration, IT, retail, graphic design, tourism, you name it. Over the years we've built up a huge, I suppose, network of host companies, and we can provide a large range of work placements. Okay. There's a whole programme built around the workplace programme. For example, airport transfers, accommodation, 24-hour service. A lot of documentation goes with these programmes, as you can imagine, so we have to manage all of that. What else? Accommodation, generally everything, really. We monitor the whole programme from our head office here in Cork City, because there's a lot of criteria that goes into this candidate coming over to Ireland. They have to have a good level of English, they have to have relevant previous experience in the sector, they must have studied it, so on and so forth. I could interview 200 people over 2 days for 10 places on these programmes, so they are in demand, so we can pick the best participants out there. So that's generally it. We would maintain contact with the host companies and the participants to ensure the quality of the programme is ensured. Thus, that's why we work with the same host companies for many years, and the universities on the other side of it. It's just managing the relationship and managing the outcome of the project and ensuring it's a good result for everybody involved. For the candidates, they get hands-on experience in an English-speaking environment, in a professional environment. They don't have experience in their CVs. They find it difficult to get jobs in their home countries, and having English is a huge asset to a new graduate, as you can understand. So they're very eager to come into a host company, get working really, and to be an extra pair of hands to help out. On the host company side then, they get an extra pair of hands at no cost. So you're probably thinking, oh, the poor student's working for free. No, they have a grant already. In that grant, their accommodation is paid for. They have pocket money, weekly pocket money, which covers their transport also. So they're covered financially. However, would ask the host companies in some cases, pay for their bus ticket or their lunch, and also in the interest of fairness that they'd work only 5 days a week and begin at 10 to 4:30. So it's mutually beneficial from that point of view, and that's why we monitor it so closely with the host companies to ensure that that they're not asking our students to work later than they should. But the host companies are fully aware what's expected of them. They provide a good quality of work. They take care of the student. They nurture them, and they mentor them to the best of their ability. And then for the participants' part, we expect them to be motivated, do a good job, integrate, and try their best to help out as much as they can. So luckily it's working out great. It's a people business, as you can understand. There are ups and downs with everything, but it's our job to manage it and move on from that. Okay, we send au pairs from Ireland to France, UK, Spain and the USA for 6 months to 1 year. There's a lot of, I suppose, childcare students who love the idea of travelling and working with children. So we have partners in all these countries. There are specialty au pair agencies. They have a lot of criteria that one has to go through to go on these particular programs. They must have relevant experience, education, references, police clearance, as I said, to go on this program. So it's a huge process. We orientate them for a week, up to a week before they go. They receive a 4-day orientation program when they arrive in the States, for example, as well. So it's quite well monitored to ensure the family is getting the best au pair possible and the au pair is having a positive experience in their own right as well. We'll be expanding that, actually, incidentally, to other countries in 2014. Technical visits or trade delegations, as they're called. We offer trade delegations to, I suppose, companies around Europe. We try and get funding for them to be able to come into Ireland to meet companies in all professional sectors. IT is huge in Cork, as we all know, with companies like Apple, EMC, Eli Lilly. So we get a lot of, I suppose, tech companies coming into Cork to meet with these companies. Other examples would be, we had Slovenian companies looking to develop trade links with plastics companies. More recently, we had a group of Norwegian politicians and companies. They wanted to meet food companies or food production companies with high export potential in Cork and Dublin, particularly with meat processing factories and dairy production. So there were some pictures of past trade delegations. We usually take them to meet the Lord Mayor as well. He loves meeting them. Okay. A side thing here, I suppose, how the business has grown so rapidly. It is because the repeat business and word has spread about, I suppose, our work, which is great. We also had the opportunity to be on Spanish television, and we had 2 million viewers. So you can only imagine the amount of business we got out of that. Absolutely free. All we had to do was print up some T-shirts, and they rang us on a Wednesday and said we're coming over on a Saturday. So you can imagine the drama and the excitement trying to get ready for that. So this program interviews Spanish people abroad, if they're working or whatever they're doing in their life. They just want to know what Spanish people are doing outside of Spain. So they wanted to see about these programs that they come on and what happens while they're here and the care they're given and what happens after, and so on and so forth. So it was a great opportunity for us, absolutely phenomenal. As I said, 2 million viewers. You can only imagine how much business we got out of that. It was super. Okay, that's Partnership Europe. The next company is Happy Tours Ireland. That idea was born in London at the beginning of 2012 with my 2 business partners from another Cork company called Easy Cork. We have so many people coming in to Ireland on these programs. We were always outsourcing to tour companies, so we decided, sure, we'll create it ourselves. The name Happy Tours might sound a bit cliche to us Irish people, however it translates very well. Plus the Americans love the name Happy Tours, so we actually get a lot of American visitors as well. We do day tours all over the country, Cork, Dublin, Killarney, Cliffs of Moher, so on and so forth, from Cork. They're private day tours that are guided from Cork, and next year from Dublin as well. Okay, so that's just a background into our companies. Now, I travel a lot, clearly. I spend most of my time in Europe, and I'm not tech savvy at all. I haven't a clue basically. So how do I cope? Just about. The business has to keep working. Even though we've great staff on board, I do need to keep on top of things and have weekly meetings with the team. I could be in Paris on a Monday morning, but first I'll go to this. I use my iPad. It's easy to carry. My whole office is on my iPad. Go to my PC is what I personally use. It's fantastic. It's an app. I go on. My whole office, my whole desktop in my office is there. I can access my shared system with all the team in real time. It's absolutely fantastic. There could be better versions out there. This costs me about €6 a month. It's absolutely fantastic. It's never let me down, because when you're on the move, you need the best option that suits you. And in my case, that's go to my PC. It's fantastic. Basic things. With the email, I have the email on my phone and on my iPad. It's constantly going. It's almost too much sometimes, because before I go to bed and when I wake up, it's constantly with me. But I get hundreds of emails every day, and I need to constantly keep on top of my emails. So it's perfect. Adobe Reader is the same. And my calendar is always updated. I don't know where I go with my calendar. I don't know where I'd be without it, because I have so many events going on, as you can imagine, all over Europe and then here in Cork as well. So it's constantly updated. And now I've my personal one and my private one together, and they don't interrupt. So in that sense, I find it very efficient. Dropbox I use as a backup while traveling. Because if I've experienced any problems with other devices, I have Dropbox available to me. Skype, plain simple Skype. It's amazing. I love it. Why? Because I can have my team meeting on a Monday morning, as I said. We plan our week out, everything's fine. Then I can have another Skype meeting with all my clients at one time from all over Europe at the same time. It's very efficient for me. Usually I would travel, as I said, if it was a new agent, new university, I would travel and do pre-departure orientations and interviews. I could interview, as I said, 200 plus people over a 3-day period. But if I've been working with this agency or university for the past 5 years, they know us, they know we do a good job, so I don't necessarily have to go spend money on flights and accommodation. So we do it via Skype. So I can do it at home, I can do it in my office, just Skype interviews. It's perfect. And then the pre-departure orientation is the same, because it's very important that the participants need to know what's happening. So pre-departure orientation is huge. Again, if there are clients I've had for a number of years, I do it from home or work. Okay. We offer our staff the opportunity, or option should I say, of working remotely from our office. Our accounts administrator works from home. It's great because although we have a relatively big office, we do need more staff, or we will in time. But with our accounts administrator, she necessarily does not have to be in the office taking up space. So she has a family, she works from home. I would work with her via Skype, via email, phone. We meet face to face every 2 weeks. It's very cost effective for me because I don't have the space for her in my office. I don't have to rent out another space for her, and she loves working from home. And she's a lot more productive as well. She says she's a night owl. She loves working late into the night apparently, so it suits her and her family as well. So overall, the effect of my business is absolutely excellent, I have to say. My business is more efficient, the quality of work is not compromised, and my staff are happy and productive. I suppose we'll say I'm away 2 to 3 days per week on average. So these are the simple tools that I use, and not tech savvy person. This is how I cope, and I cope very well, I have to say, with those basic tools, as do my staff. It's absolutely fantastic. I can be away from my office for a few weeks on end, and the place won't fall down because, you know, I work remotely. Plus, I do on occasion like to work from home myself. Just, you know, it's, as you said, it's more productive, less interruptions, and it's definitely helped me in my business. So that's me, that's Partnership Europe and Happy Tours Ireland. That's how we work remotely. Pure and simple, and not tech savvy person at all. This is how I cope. That's it. Thank you very much.